surely going overboard. The wretched terms of the Benway family oath of fealty, on parchment in a fine upright hand, have been passed on from generation to generation. The document itself, hidden away in a safe and secure, if dusty place, reads thus: Benway family oath of fealty. I, Nigel Benway, being of extremely grateful mind and body, not to mention most excellent penmanship, no small feat for an indentured servant, if I say so myself, do hereby pledge my life to the service of Horatio Bellwether and his descendants, in return for that individual's selfless and heroic act of saving me from the fate of drowning. As I would be very unlikely to have any progeny had I drowned, it is fitting and right that I should hereby pledge the loyalty and service of my descendants to the Bellwether family for the next 200 years. Signed, with the aforementioned most excellent penmanship, Nigel Benway. As I am the last of the line and an orphan, the information regarding my fine family and their wretched oath of fealty was impressed upon me from the earliest age by the headmaster at the benighted Academy for Butlers, where I was raised. I have always taken great pride in the Benway family honour of keeping the oath. The happy news is that the 200 years are nearly up, and I will be free of this circus which masquerades as a household. You see, dear journal, when old William Bellwether passed on, I continued in the service of his son, the famous inventor Eugene Bellwether, Ph.D. For the past several years I have tended to the domestic affairs of the most chaotic family ever to live, in a lighthouse. It is no easy task to run a household in a lighthouse. A circular staircase winds up through the middle of the building from the basement lair to the observation deck. 7 floors of semicircular-shaped rooms surround this staircase. This means that should the triplets in their 7th-floor art studio, more about them later, leave a mess for someone else to clean up, that someone else being your most humble servant, of course, the necessary mops, sponges, forklifts, and what have you must be retrieved from their place of storage on the 2nd floor and carried up exactly 142 steps. Oh yes, your most humble servant has counted those steps. Often. One would think that a man with Eugene Bellwether's mighty reputation for invention could come up with a device to spare the legs of his faithful family retainer. Indeed, I have lived under circumstances and through events beyond imagination. And so I sit down here in the 3rd person, as though someone else were telling the tale. My lot is much easier to bear this way, in that I may pretend that these events happened to someone other than me, a litany of what I have suffered. That which follows is my account of the Bellwethers' activities of a single summer. Note. Oh, all right. A very few minor and inconsequential details have been filled in by certain other members of the family. End note. As fantastic as it sounds, it is all true. 1. A removable feast. An unusual meal in the household Bellwether would be a quiet affair. With murmured pleases and thank yous, the family would pass the delicious dishes that Benway placed before them. Perhaps they would go around the table and tell one another mildly amusing stories about the various things they had encountered in the course of the day. Tonight's meal was, alas, more typical. It began with 13-year-old Ninda Bellwether dragging a bewildered-looking guest into the dining room. "Everyone, this is Mr. Miller," she introduced, indicating the man who shuffled his feet before them. He was the very picture of a storybook hobo, if there is such a thing. He held a red-tied bandana, which presumably carried all his worldly possessions.